Hi, my name is Nicole Pinnell and I live in Salt Lake City, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my piece for cello called Serenity. This piece is actually about forgiveness, and I called it Serenity because that is the ultimate goal of all of us, to find the peace and joy in the calm of serenity. And if you're like me, it's like comes in little moments, little glimmers. And so the piece actually has a lot of struggle in it, even though the title is Serenity. I almost named it Serenity with a question mark. I actually went into the studio to record something else, and I come flying in. I usually try to come really early, but I was just a couple minutes before the downbeat. And the engineer that I was with that day, his name is Stoker White, he's sort of used to me sometimes doing this. Songs don't come to me quick very often, but this song came while I was driving. So all I had to write on was this giant calendar I keep. It's just this giant calendar. So I grabbed my calendar that was in the back of my car, I put on the piano, and I just start writing down chord names on this piece of paper, this big piece of paper. And then I said, Stoker, I have a song. Can we do this one first? He was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So all I had were the chord names and not the voicings. So it wasn't too hard, but I made the first layer with the orchestral part, with just doing the roots on one pass, and then I think I did the fifths next, and I did the thirds after that. And there were some little changes I made sort of along the way. Some of them were by accident, some of them were on purpose, and I decided to let everything that was an accident live in the song. And so that was the first layer of Serenity. And then by the time we made that bed that the solo line goes on top of, I was just spent. And I felt empty, and like the melody is gone. So I had to take that home and work with it and come back. And I played a little different every time, but it's really fun how it evolved in phases, which I think is really telling of what forgiveness and serenity really in the end is for each of us. So there's actually a scripture from the Book of Mormon, Alma 36, and I think it describes the process of forgiveness so well. Alma talks about he is suffering the pains of a damned soul. He is in the gall of bitterness, the chains of death, I think it is. And I mean, he's really in it. And I don't know about you, but I can relate to that. And it's funny because sometimes we need to forgive ourselves. Sometimes we need to forgive other people. And in the end, I think the process is really the same. It comes down to us and releasing ourselves from those chains, that bondage that we were tied to before. And what I love about how Alma continues to describe his own forgiveness is that he says that his joy, when he was in that moment of release, that joy is exquisite as was his pain. I hope you enjoy Serenity, and I hope it means to you what it meant to me.